You guys asked for it. Here it is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Snowdrift channel. It's me, Snowdrift. I have had, I wouldn't say an overwhelming request, but a few people have been like, dude, where's the CBR? Why aren't you riding? I want some CBR content today. No joke, I've had those comments. For Joe Biden, Joe Biden himself, here you go, you guys. This is it. Today, we're going to talk about a few things, doing a classic motovlog. Does that even happen anymore? Do people do those kind of things? I don't know. Let's see. Ooh, I do not want to go that way. It's wet that way. Let's go this way. God, this is the worst parking lot I could have chosen to do something like this. All right. Oh, it feels so good to be back, you guys. Oh my goodness, it feels incredible today. I've missed riding this bike so much, I forgot what speed felt like. The RSX can't hold a candlestick to this thing. I've always said, since day one, you want some cheap speed? Here you go. This is about as cheap of speed as you can buy. For about 3 to 5 grand, you can get yourself a 1000, and you're gonna be faster than anything else on the road. At least like 95% of the things that you're gonna see in your day-to-day life, you're gonna be faster than it. But it's not always about speed. Sometimes it's about safety. Actually, it's about safety all the time. All the gear, all the time. Always. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that I have talked about before on the channel, but this was back when we had the 900RR. This is gonna be a vlog about my bike. I'm gonna tell you guys things I don't like about the CBR. That is right, big yellow bumblebee. I miss that bike every single day of my life. I would do anything if I could get it back at some point. Maybe that's something I can look to in the future. Expand my FireBlade collection, considering those are the only bikes I've ever owned are FireBlades. So, with all that being said, today we're going to be talking about a subject that has been kind of beaten to death, but I've never done it with this bike. 10 things I love about this bike, and 10 things that I hate about this bike. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Trust me, I love this bike. I wouldn't have put all the time and effort and work and money into it if I did not love this thing to death. And so we're going to start here in no particular order whatsoever. The first thing that I love about this bike is the style, the look. I think that this CBR, this 06 CBR, is one of the most incredible looking FireBlades that Honda has ever released. Now, when they released the new body style changeover in 2017 and upward, and I'm pretty sure the 2021 may have a little bit different stylings and things like that. That bike, I think that Honda truly embodied everything that a FireBlade should be. I love the look of that bike. If I ever get a newer FireBlade, that's probably what I'm going to go for, is somewhere in that year model range from 2017 and up. Unless they do something stupid and change it up. I'm not a huge fan of like the 08 to 2011 body style. Some people love that, some people hate it. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I almost bought one, but it's kind of one of those things where I was just kind of trying to get into a motorcycle that was a 1000 with fuel injection and things like that. But if I had to choose a body style, a tried and true, just perfect for me, this body style does it for me. This gets my nether regions all kinds of tingly, you guys. I love the way this bike looks, and I'm really glad that me and her ended up together, because I think we're perfect for each other. The second thing, and I'm a little kind of biased, I mean, this might be cheating a little bit. This may go along with the way that the bike looks, but the paint color, if you've been with the channel for a long time, you guys would have known that I mixed this paint up and got the bike sprayed this color. Thank you, Josh, if you're watching this. I love the color of this bike. I spent you know, hours in the paint booth deciding, you know, what color do I want to make this bike. I don't want to do something that's factory. I want to do something that people will look at the bike and go, man, that's definitely custom, but not too over the top. I didn't want to go crazy with like stripes or anything nuts. I wanted to do just a simple looking bike that is a head turner, but it doesn't like just punch you in the face when you look at it. So I think we accomplished that with the paint color, and I love it. I've always loved it. Moving right along with this theme, this bike has a shit ton of street cred. No one hates this bike. I have never met anyone that looked at this CBR, this year model, this year design, and said, man, that thing's ugly. Like, no matter where I go, if it's to bike night or to a bike dealership or a gas station, a restaurant, wherever I may be with this bike, anyone that speaks out on it will say something along the lines of, that's a sweet bike, man, or that's my favorite year model of CBR, or that's my dream 1000 right there. You know, it's always stuff along those lines. Always super positive feedback on the style of the bike. Forget about the paint color. I think even if like this thing was still the way it looked the day I bought it, people would still be like, man, I just love the way that bike looks. It's one of my favorites. Pulling over to look at my list because I can't remember everything. Next thing I want to say is the ram mount location. Like, you know, not every bike has the ability to, you know, have a ram mount in a position that you know, that you may really enjoy or that you may like. You may just kind of have to like maybe attach it to the handlebars of whatever bike you have. If you've got like a dual sport or an adventure bike or a cruiser or something like that, you know, you got the clamp that goes around the handlebars. And you know, for me, I really love the way that you can put a ram mount on this bike. I've got these bolts that actually go into the frame of the bike where the Honda electronic steering dampener is mounted, and I just had to find a little bit longer bolts, and I found this base plate on eBay, and it's got the ball on it, and this is perfect. It's directly in the middle if I need the directions, like when I went up to the Dragon with Nick. If I needed the GPS, which I had it on the entire time, it's amazing. Like, I just, and you know, it may be sounding like I'm praising the ram mount. Of course I'm praising the ram mount. The ram mount is amazing. It's my favorite phone mount for motorcycles. But the way that the CBR, the CBR, I don't even think the ram mount was around when this CBR was first brought out, or this, you know, design, because this design kind of carries over from 04 all the way up to 07. Well, it's just really nice. And it's not even the fact that Honda was forward thinking, it's just the sheer convenience of it was I was just able to buy a couple of bolts, buy a mount, bolt it down, mount the ram. Like, that's, yeah, it's just cool. It worked out really, really well on this bike. I'm sure there may be other bikes out there that work just as good, but it just blew me away. It's just like, I had to buy a couple things and boom, it's there. Another thing that's just ridiculously awesome about this bike is how easy it is to maintain. Oil changes, air filter changes, spark plug changes. I mean, the spark plug changes are definitely a little bit more in depth, and if you own a sport bike, then you would know it's not as easy as changing the spark plugs on like a V-twin or something like that. But it is very, very simple and straightforward. And if you've ever tinkered with something before, I'm sure you'll have plenty of confidence in doing that kind of job yourself. But definitely oil changes and everything, and just the accessibility of, you know, you got to pull off some fairings here and there. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely involved, more involved than some bikes. But as far as this bike goes, it is really easy to change out parts that need to be changed often, especially oil. You know, NGK spark plugs, a lot of them are good for 100,000 miles. So, you know, this bike only has 32,300 miles on it as of right this second, and I have changed the spark plugs in this thing before. But I mean, it didn't necessarily need them. It's just, you know, kind of one of those peace of mind things. And did the air filters. The air box is pretty easy to get to. You just lift up the gas tank, and it's very user friendly is what I'm trying to say. Moving on, we might be at like number 7 or number 8 here. I haven't been keeping track. The aftermarket support for this thing is insane. There is so much aftermarket support. You can buy something for every part of this bike to replace it. Mirrors, fairings, handlebars, you name it, they're out there. I've got an R6 throttle tube on this thing. They make wheels, there's carbon fiber fairings, HID kits, you name it. Like, I'm telling you, you name it, reservoirs. You can get anodized aluminum little reservoirs to hold your clutch fluid and your brake fluid if you have clutch fluid, if you have a hydraulic clutch on your bike. It's just the engine covers, clutch covers, like, it's literally endless. And I know that's the same for a lot of bikes, but really, like, it's just endless, because it's just one of those bikes where there's, you know, Honda makes a ton of them. Like, there's CBRs have been made for like 30 years or something, maybe even more than that now. There's just so much stuff you can get, and it's well priced, except for fairings. Fairings are always going to be dumb expensive, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, aftermarket support for this thing, it's freaking awesome. Again, this might be cheating a little bit, but kind of harkening back to the looks and the styling of it, I believe this bike has aged really, really well. And you guys, you know, if you ride, you know what I'm talking about. Like, some people, there might be a handful of people out there that love the Suzuki Katana. Good on you. I'm glad you love that bike. Hell, that may have been your first bike, and it may be the bike you're riding right now. There's nothing wrong with that. Get on two wheels. When I was convincing myself and convincing my friends to get on a bike, I was just like, dude, I don't care what you buy. You shouldn't care either. It's not going to be your first bike. It's not going to be your last bike. Probably just buy something. And the Suzuki Katana is a 600cc motorcycle that you can get that's fuel injected, and it'll get you out on the road on two wheels, and it's cheap to insure and it's cheap to ride. But it is ugly as sin, and you all know it. A bike, this has been big controversy when I've spoken to some people, but I utterly hate, despise, loathe the way that the Hayabusa looks. I think that they look like cows on wheels. I get the reputation, I get the speed, and I get the demographic of the people that ride it. I totally get it, and I respect it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to hate the way the bastard looks, okay? I hate it. It is such an ugly bike. Like, it's just, that's all I'm gonna say about it. But as far as this bike is concerned, like I said earlier, I've never met anybody from any age group that looks at this bike and thinks, man, that thing's ugly. It's never happened, and it probably never will happen. There's someone out there that hates the look of this bike. I'm sure there is. 99% of the people out there that loves motorcycles love the way this bike looks. This thing, it's like a fine wine. It has aged well. The Hayabusa is like fine milk. That would make total sense because it's a cow. All right, number 9 in line for the things I love about the bike, the seating position. I'm 6'3", 300 pounds. The seating position for this thing is not bad. I'm not going to say that it's perfect, but it is not bad. You guys can look back, click on the card of my journey up to Nick's house, and I stayed with him and rode the Dragon a couple times throughout the day, and I put 1,000 miles on this bike in that 3-day trip. Went to 6 different states. I was in Alabama, went to Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Virginia. Went to all those different states. A big testament to that is the seat, the Sergeant seat I put on here. I'm not going to say that that's something I love about the bike, because that isn't something I loved about the bike. The actual Sergeant seat is something I installed that's an aftermarket part, so I can't say that I love that about this bike. I love the seat. It didn't come on the bike. It's a comfortable riding position for a super sport motorcycle. It is a comfortable riding position. Number 10, the final thing that I love about this bike, and it's something that nobody can take away from me, the journey that I've had with this bike. Me and it together. From the day that I saw it on Craigslist to the day that we went up and picked it up, buying it, riding it, modifying it, fixing it, maintaining it, everything. I have loved it. It has taught me something. It's made me laugh. It's made me cry. It's made me bleed. It's made me sweat. And it's made me a better rider. I utterly just love the story that I have been able to tell through YouTube to you guys about me and this bike. Just thinking back on everything we've done. And for those of you that have been there with us, with me the entire time, with the bike, thank you. It's been awesome. I mean, I can't say enough about it. Like, I'm super happy that we did the things that we did with this bike. It's just been bloody lovely, guys. It really has. Yeah. So with that heart-wrenching display of love and affection out of the way, let's move on to what I absolutely hate about this bike.